The Galaxy Council had gathered in the Grand Chamber, a vast space station floating above the shining blue planet of Azure Prime. Hundreds of delegates from different worlds filled the room, their metallic robes glinting under the cold light. The Council had ruled the galaxy for centuries, deciding the fate of planets, stars, and entire civilizations. Yet today, there was a strange tension in the air, one that none of them could explain. At the center of the chamber, High Chancellor Vorik, a tall figure with a crystalline headpiece, tapped his clawed fingers against the podium. His voice boomed across the room. "Report from the outer sectors?" he demanded. A holographic projection flickered to life, showing a series of red alerts. "Chancellor Vorik, we have detected unusual movements near Sector 12G, said a young officer nervously. "Unknown fleets are gathering. They appear human." The word human caused a ripple of laughter across the council. "Humans?" sneered Ambassador Trell, a reptilian diplomat from Dractor. "They are weak, primitive. They can barely protect their own planet. What threat could they possibly pose to the council?" But not all laughed. Some looked uneasy. A few remembered the last human rebellion, centuries ago, when Earth had fought fiercely to survive. It had been a minor event back then, almost forgotten, but something in this alert felt different. Meanwhile, light years away on Earth, the humans were not laughing. In a hidden command center beneath the surface, thousands of men and women worked silently. The walls were lined with blinking panels and holographic maps. The hum of energy from their engines filled the air, a constant reminder of the power they were building. Admiral Kira Sellen, the leader of the Earth fleet, walked briskly through the command room. Her eyes were sharp, scanning reports as officers spoke. "Status?" she asked. "All fleets are ready, Admiral," said Lieutenant Wren. "Cloaking devices are operational. Weapons calibrated. Hyperdrive coordinates set." Kira nodded, her jaw tightened. "Good. The Council will not see us coming. They think they have time, but time is a luxury they no longer have." In the Council chamber, Vorik waved off the minor alarm, confident in their supremacy. "Humans are children playing with toys. Send a scout fleet to investigate, and then we will remind them of their place." As the scout fleet left, the humans on Earth monitored every movement. The holographic screen showed Council ships in formation, unaware of the trap awaiting them. Captain Rhine, commander of the Earth Reconnaissance, leaned toward Kira. "They underestimate us. They always do." Kira smiled faintly. "Let them underestimate. That is our greatest weapon." Back at Azure Prime, the scout fleet approached the border of human space. The Council ships were elegant, enormous, covered with glowing shields and weapon turrets. The human sensors picked up the patrols easily, but the humans remained hidden. The scout fleet reported everything back to Earth. "Fleet movements are predictable," said Rhine. "They will not change formation for hours. We can plan the strike perfectly." Kira's eyes narrowed. "Then we strike not to scare, but to teach them a lesson they will never forget." On the Council station, the delegates continued their discussion, oblivious to the storm brewing outside. Ambassador Trell leaned toward a fellow diplomat. "Do you really think Earth can attack us?" he asked. "Attack? They can barely defend their planet," his friend replied. But just then, an alert flashed across the chamber. "High Chancellor," a technician said nervously, "we are receiving a strange transmission from Earth. It is urgent." Vorik raised an eyebrow. Put on screen. A flickering image appeared. The view was shaky, as if someone was recording in haste. The voice was human, but firm, commanding attention. "This is Earthfleet Command. We have waited patiently while the Council spread fear across the galaxy. We have suffered under your rules. We have watched your fleets destroy planets and enslave civilizations. But now we are done waiting. Earth will act. Prepare yourselves." A stunned silence filled the chamber. The voice was calm, yet full of authority. The Council had never received such a message from humans before. Vorik slammed his clawed hand on the podium. "This is absurd. They are bluffing. Activate defensive grids. Send reinforcements." But the humans had already anticipated every move. Their ships remained cloaked, hovering at the edges of the system. Every Council scanner missed them. Every patrol was oblivious to the trap. Deep inside Earth's command center, Kira watched the Council's reaction, through intercepted communications. "They do not believe us," she said. "That will make the strike even sweeter." In the council chamber, the delegates argued. Some wanted to ignore the message. Others demanded retaliation. Fear began to seep in, slowly spreading to the room like a virus. High Chancellor Vork's crystal eyes glowed as he struggled to maintain composure. "Send the fleet," he commanded finally. "Do not let them see our fear." The scouts activated their weapons, moving toward a human border, unaware that every path they took was already predicted, every move anticipated. The humans had studied the council for years, learning their strategies, their weaknesses, their arrogance. Captain Ryan tapped a button on her console. "Targeting sequence ready, Admiral." Kira Sellen looked out at the star-filled sky, to the command center window. The human fleet, hidden in the shadows, waited patiently. "Hold," she whispered. "Let them think they have time. Let them think they can strike first. That illusion will make their downfall complete." On Azure Prime, the Council fleet moved forward, unaware of the silent observers. Each ship followed the standard formation, perfectly aligned, confident in their superiority. But the humans had planted small disruptions in the communication channels, tiny glitches that made coordination slightly slower. Those seconds would matter. An ambassador whispered nervously. "Perhaps we underestimated them." Vorik glared. "Enough! Fear is weakness. We will crush these humans if they dare attack." But even as he spoke, the council felt an unease that was unfamiliar. It was not just fear. It was a warning instinct, a feeling that something had changed. On Earth, Kira smiled faintly. The council thinks they are safe. That is the beauty of it. They will never see us until it is too late. A warning signal flashed across the human command center. It was not an alert, it was confirmation. The council had mobilized. Their ships were leaving their stations. Ryan looked at Kira. "They are moving faster than expected. Should we accelerate?" Kira shook her head. "No. Patience. Let them move. Let them believe they have the advantage. Then we will show them the cost of underestimating humanity." In the vast darkness of space, the first humans began to emerge from the shadows. Cloaking devices disengaged slowly, revealing sleek, advanced ships far superior to anything the Council had anticipated. Engines hummed with power. Weapons glowed with deadly precision. In the Council chamber, alarms blared as the first ships appeared on sensors. Delegates gasped. Some fell back in disbelief. "Impossible!" shouted Ambassador Trell. This cannot be real." Vorik's claws gripped the podium. "Focus on defense. All units, intercept. Now!" But the humans had already begun their silent approach. The Council fleet was large, powerful, and confident, yet they were moving blindly into a trap they did not know existed. Kira watched silently, her mind calm. "They will learn the hard way," she said, "and by the time they realize, it will be too late." The desperate call had been made. The humans were ready, and the galaxy, for the first time, began to feel the shadow of Earth's revenge. The Council's fleet was massive. Hundreds of ships stretched across the void, each one gleaming under distant starlight. Yet even their size could not hide the unease growing in the hearts of the delegates aboard Azure Prime. Alarms screamed, red and blue lights flashing through the halls as holographic displays showed ships appearing from nowhere, untraceable until they were too close. High Chancellor Vorik stood rigid, his crystalline headpiece reflecting the chaotic lights. He had faced rebellions, uprisings, and planetary wars, but something about this human fleet made him hesitate. "They are too coordinated," Vorik muttered, his clawed hands clenched. "Impossible. Humans, nothing about them should be this precise." Ambassador Trell's eyes widened, fear replacing his earlier arrogance. "Chancellor, their movement patterns, predictive. It's as if they knew our response before we even thought it." Vorik growled, his voice echoing across the chamber. "Deploy interceptors. Activate hyperwave sensors. Find them." Outside the station, the Council fleet sensors tried desperately to detect the hidden humans, but every attempt failed. Every probe that ventured too far vanished without a trace. Communications were scrambled, engines disrupted. The humans were ghosts in the void, yet their power radiated like a storm waiting to strike. On Earth, Admiral Kira Sellen watched the Council's panic with a calm, that belied the tension around her. In the command center, thousands of human officers worked in silent synchronization. The hum of engines and the glow of holographic maps filled the air. Lieutenant Rin, Kira said, her voice firm, run a predictive model. I want to know every move they will make in the next 20 minutes. Rin's fingers flew across the console. We already know most of them. Admiral, their tactics haven't changed in decades. But there's something unusual. Some units are acting differently. Perhaps an attempt to confuse us. Kira's eyes narrowed. Let them try. Misleading us will cost them dearly. Meanwhile, in the council chamber, fear began to spread like wildfire. Delegates whispered, eyes darting to one another. A once unified assembly was now fractured, each member unsure of the other's loyalty or competence. Vork's voice rang out, demanding focus. Silence. We have faced humans before and crushed them. This is no different. Concentrate firepower. Protect the station. We will not fall to mere earthlings. Yet even as he spoke, unease gnawed at the edges of his consciousness. Sensors flickered with unexplainable readings. Something in the void shifted, moved too fast, too precisely. The humans were not just hiding, they were preparing. Back on Earth, Kira stood before a massive star map. Lines traced the predicted paths of Council ships. Dots blinked red, representing enemy vessels. Lines in green showed the paths of human fleets, silent and invisible. They move like predators, whispered Captain Rhine, studying the display. Every Council ship fits perfectly into our plan. They don't even realize they are walking into it. Kira nodded. Patience. Let them think they are in control. Let them believe victory is theirs. That illusion will break them faster than any weapon. Suddenly, the humans detected a Council scout fleet attempting to flank their position. The scout ships moved swiftly, confident in their numerical advantage. Should we engage? Ryan asked. No, Kira replied. Let them come closer. Let them feel safe. Fear will not save them now. The Council fleet continued, unaware that every decision was predicted and every movement anticipated. Their formation was elegant but rigid, a perfect pattern for the humans to exploit. On Azure Prime, Vork's advisors argued furiously. Chancellor, we underestimated them, one shouted. Their fleet is unlike anything we have faced. Vork's crystal eyes glowed brighter. We will adapt. Humans are clever, yes, but they are mortal. They can be beaten. But doubt had taken root. The delegates noticed it, each whispering behind screens and shields. Humans had not just returned. They had evolved, adapted, and grown strong while the Council remained complacent. In Earth's command center, Kira's voice carried over the quiet hum of operations. Prepare the first wave. No direct attack, just disruption. Make them question their own decisions. Let confusion spread. Rin glanced at the monitors. All units ready. Cloaking devices active. Electronic interference is set to scramble their communications. Kira's hand hovered over the control panel. Initiate. Immediately, Council sensors began to flicker and fail. Communications were interrupted. Ships moved hesitantly, unsure whether the signals they received were real or false. The human fleet remained invisible, yet its presence was felt everywhere. Ambassador Trell ran to Vork, panic in his reptilian eyes. Chancellor, we are being outmaneuvered. They are everywhere. How can this be? How can a human fleet predict us like this? Vork's face darkened, a rare crack in his composure. Silence. We will recalibrate. We will adjust, but we must not show weakness. On the outskirts of the galaxy, Earth's cloaked ships moved with surgical precision. Small teams infiltrated communication arrays, disrupting Council signals and planting false intelligence. Other ships subtly nudged Council drones off course, leading them into empty sectors. One human officer leaned toward Kira. Admiral, they are starting to panic. Their confidence is cracking. Kira's eyes sparkled with controlled satisfaction. Good. Fear is the greatest weapon. Let it spread. Let it paralyze them before the strike begins. Back in the Council chamber, Vork slammed his clawed hand on the podium. Try to regain control. All units, focus on formation. Ignore disruptions. Humanity will not shake the council. But whispers have begun. Delegates questioned each other. Orders conflicted. Small mistakes, insignificant on their own, began to cascade. A single misaligned ship caused a chain reaction of errors across the fleet. Meanwhile, the humans watched from their hidden positions. Every disruption was intentional. Every mistake calculated. The Council's own arrogance had made them vulnerable, and the humans were exploiting it perfectly. "Admiral," Ryan said quietly, "they are falling into chaos faster than anticipated. We could strike sooner." Kira shook her head. "No, let the tension build. Every second they doubt themselves strengthens our position. They must fear the inevitability of what is coming." Within the Council, Vorik felt it, a creeping dread that he had not experienced in centuries. Humans were supposed to be weak, insignificant. Yet now, they were everywhere, unseen, controlling the battlefield without a single visible confrontation. A sudden alert flashed across Vorik's console. "Chancellor, another fleet has gone dark." It had vanished. Vorik's eyes widened. "Impossible." Ambassador Trell whispered, terror replacing arrogance. "There are ghosts everywhere, how?" Vorik's claws shook slightly. "Prepare for defensive strike. All weapons ready? We will not fall." But even as orders were shouted, the Council fleet's movement was inconsistent. Some ships were reacting late. Others were firing at nothing. Panic spread silently across the formation like a virus. Deep within Earth's fleet, Kira's calm voice carried over the command center. "They will learn that fear is not an illusion. It is a weapon, as sharp as any blade or missile. Prepare the secondary phase. The real test begins soon." The human fleet moved in coordinated shifts, each unit invisible, each strike precise. The Council could feel the pressure mounting, the tension growing unbearable. The illusion of control was slipping through their fingers. A single Council ship attempted to break formation, trying to engage an invisible enemy. It fired blindly, only to find its weapons backfiring due to interference. Panic rippled across the fleet. Vorik's voice cracked, rare and unsteady. "Focus. Do not let them see weakness." But the humans were already watching, analyzing, and preparing the next move. Every Council mistake was catalogued. Every hesitation was recorded. The humans did not attack yet. They let fear and doubt do the work for them. In Earth's command center, Kira's eyes scanned the fleet. The rising tension is perfect. They are already unraveling. Soon, they will beg for the battle to be over, and by then it will be too late. Outside the Council fleet, space seemed calm, but the calm was deadly. The Council fleet floated like a fortress in the endless void, massive and imposing, yet fragile as glass against the unseen hand that was humanity. Panic had begun to crack the veneer of control that High Chancellor Vorik had maintained for centuries. Every sensor flicker, every communication glitch gnawed at his confidence. And yet, he refused to believe that humans could possess the power to threaten the Council. "They are children playing with fire," he hissed, pacing the Grand Chamber. "Nothing they do can harm us. Nothing." But as he spoke, the first Real warning arrived, silent, deadly, and invisible. Council ships across the formation suddenly lost power in sections of their engines. Communication arrays went dark for seconds, then returned with distorted messages, each command delayed by critical moments. Chaos spread like wildfire. On Earth, Admiral Kira Sellen watched the Council fleet's confusion unfold on her monitors. She leaned over the holographic display, tracing the formation. "Now!" she whispered, pressing the final command. At that instant, hundreds of human ships emerged from the shadows, their cloaks disengaging simultaneously. The sight was unlike anything the Council had ever witnessed. Sleek, angular vessels, bristling with weapons, moved with silent precision. They were fast, agile, and far more advanced than any Council ship. The void seemed to shrink as the human fleet surrounded the Council in perfect encirclement. On the bridge of Azure Prime, alarm screamed. Vorik's crystalline eyes widened in disbelief. "Impossible!" he shouted. "They should not be visible. How did they appear?" The humans did not attack immediately. Instead, They held their positions like predators, letting the council experience the true weight of their vulnerability. Panic spread among the delegates. Orders contradicted each other. Ships fired at empty space, wasting energy, ammunition, and precious time. Lieutenant Ryan on Earth watched with grim satisfaction. They're breaking faster than we anticipated. Fear is already doing the work for us. Kira nodded. Good. But this is only the beginning. Let them feel the sting before the blade falls. Suddenly, a council destroyer moved too close to a human ship, attempting to strike. But the human vessel had anticipated the move. Energy beams struck the destroyer's engines, tearing it apart in seconds. Debris scattered across space, the screams of its automated systems echoing through the void. Vorik slammed his claws on the podium. Focus fire. Concentrate on that sector. But the humans had already predicted his command. Multiple council ships responded in unison, clustering dangerously close. Human pilots exploited confusion, cutting paths through the formation like surgical strikes. Council ships collided, shields failed, and panic deepened. In the council chamber, ambassadors clutched their consoles in terror. We underestimated them. Trell gasped, his voice trembling. How is this possible? Vorik's voice shook, a rare crack of fear slipping through. They are everywhere at once. Back on Earth, Kira's calm voice echoed across the command center. Phase 2. Engage the main fleet. Precision strikes only. No collateral damage to unarmed systems yet. Human ships move with deadly intent. Their weapons were designed to disable critical systems without unnecessary destruction, demonstrating that their goal was not chaos for its own sake. It was dominance through precision and intelligence. Council ships found themselves crippled before they could fire, engines failing, weapons offline, sensors blinded. One council cruiser tried to retreat, but the humans anticipated that too. A strike from a single human vessel severed its warp drive. The cruiser spun helplessly, drifting into the void. Its crew could do nothing but watch as the humans remained unseen, untouchable. Vorik roared, frustration and fear mingling. Recalibrate. Target them. Do not let them destroy us. But every action was predicted. Every response was countered before it could be effective. Council fleet coordination dissolved completely. Chaos reigned among the once mighty armada. In the void, small pockets of human ships carried out surgical strikes, targeting command modules, engines, and weapons arrays. The Council fleet, despite its size, could not respond effectively. The humans were like ghosts, appearing only where they needed to, disappearing before any counterattack could land. Ryan looked at Kira, astonished. Admiral, it's incredible. Every fleet they've ever sent, every tactic we studied, we've outmatched them all. Kira's gaze remained fixed on the holographic display. This is the cost of underestimating humanity. Every council member who ever doubted Earth will remember this moment. Council ships began to break apart in succession. Energy beams cut through shields like knives through cloth. Explosions painted the void with fire and debris. The Council had underestimated the humans' ingenuity, their precision, and their patience. Vorik's crystal eyes glinted with fury and desperation. All units form defensive perimeter. Protect the station at all costs. But even the station was not safe. Human ships launched electromagnetic pulses that temporarily shut down power grids and weapon systems. Lights flickered, alarms blared, and delegates stumbled in confusion. The station's defenses were failing, and there was nothing they could do. In the command center on Earth, Kira watched silently. Phase 3. Prepare to demonstrate full power, she said. Ryan's eyes widened. We've been patient this long. Are you ready for this? Kira nodded. They will understand fear in a way they never imagined. Show them why humans are never to be underestimated. From the hidden human fleet, massive energy weapons powered up. They did not aim indiscriminately, but with careful calculation. Entire Council cruisers were disabled in seconds. Others were forced to retreat, their formations in ruin. Communication lines were jammed. Coordination was impossible. In the Grand Chamber, Vorik's voice broke as he tried to issue commands. Fire. All units return fire. But no shots landed. Every council attempt was countered before the weapons could even reach their targets. The humans had mapped every trajectory, every potential move. They were untouchable, and the council realized it too late. Trell's scale shivered in fear. This is annihilation. We cannot fight them. Vork's jaw tightened, but even he had to admit the truth. We have never faced an enemy like this. The humans did not destroy everything. They demonstrated their superiority with surgical strikes and precise disruption. They had shown the council that they were no longer children to be dismissed. They were masters of strategy, patience, and execution. In the void, council ships drifted disabled, burning, and helpless. The once proud fleet was fractured, paralyzed, and broken. And as the human fleet hovered silently around them, their power clear but controlled, the council realized the magnitude of what they had provoked. Kira's voice came over the comms, calm and steady. Council of the Galaxy, you have ruled with arrogance for too long. You have underestimated humanity at your peril. The lesson begins now. The council fleet, fractured and terrified, could do nothing but watch. They were no longer in control. They had been outsmarted, outmaneuvered, and outclassed. And for the first time in centuries, the entire Galaxy Council fell silent before the humans, unable to respond, unable to act. Silence spread across the void, broken only by the hum of the human fleet, methodical, deliberate, and unyielding. The brutal strike had begun. The void that had been filled with the chaos of battle was now silent. The council fleet, once massive and imposing, was fractured, crippled, and broken. Smoke and debris floated lazily through the empty reaches of space. The council's pride lay shattered, their arrogance exposed for all to see. On Azure Prime, the delegates huddled in the Grand Chamber, faces pale beneath the cold lights. High Chancellor Vork stood at the center, claws gripping the podium, eyes glowing dimly with a mix of fury and disbelief. He had faced countless enemies, but none had struck with such precision, intelligence, and restraint. They cannot be real, Vork whispered. His voice trembled despite the effort to stay composed. No species could execute such flawless tactics. Ambassador Trell's scales were slick with sweat. Chancellor, they've shown us they are gods of war. Vork shook his head violently. No, it cannot be. We are the council. We are invincible. But even as he spoke, sensors across the station flickered, reporting disabled ships, broken communications, and scattered fleets drifting without coordination. Every calculation the council had made before the humans appeared was now useless. Meanwhile, in the hidden depths of Earth's command center, Admiral Kira Sellen watched the holographic displays with a calm, almost clinical detachment. Her fleet hovered silently, the damage done, the council fleet paralyzed, yet she showed no emotion beyond quiet satisfaction. Report, she commanded. Lieutenant Ryan stepped forward. All primary targets disabled. Admiral. Council fleets are scattered. Communication lines are destroyed. Command structures crippled. Minimal human losses. Kira nodded. Good. Maintain position. Do not strike again unless necessary. Let them feel the weight of their mistakes. Back on Azure Prime, the delegates whispered among themselves. Panic was widespread, but fear had grown into something heavier. Respect, or perhaps dread. They had always underestimated humans, dismissed Earth as a minor threat, insignificant in the vast galaxy. But now, reality had proven them catastrophically wrong. Vork's voice rose above the murmurs, attempting to reclaim authority. We are not defeated. Gather your fleets. Regroup. Show them that the council still holds power. But the delegates did not respond with the unity they once had. Fear had fractured trust. Some whispered to one another, plotting escape, or quietly acknowledging the human superiority. Others simply stared at the screens, too stunned to act. On Earth, Kira smiled faintly. Let them scramble. Let them realize that resistance is futile. We do not need to destroy them entirely, just enough to teach them the consequences of underestimating humanity. Across the council fleets, scattered and broken, small pockets of ships tried to regroup, but confusion reigned. Automated systems failed, crews panicked, and command hierarchies dissolved. The humans had demonstrated not just technological superiority, but mental superiority. Every strike had been calculated, every pause deliberate, every move designed to instill fear and hesitation. In the council chamber, Vork's crystal eyes scanned the holographic battlefield. Every indicator showed the same truth. The humans had won without even needing to engage in full destruction. It was not just a military victory. It was a psychological one. Ambassador Trell spoke quietly, almost himself. We have underestimated them. Always underestimated. Vork's claws clenched the podium. Silence. This does not end here. Humanity will pay for their insolence. But even as he vowed revenge, the council understood it would never be simple. Humans had shown a level of foresight, strategy, and patience that no other species in the galaxy possessed. The tables had turned completely. In Earth's command center, Kira prepared the final broadcast. Her calm, steady voice cut through the communication void of the galaxy. This is Admiral Kira Sellen of Earth Fleet Command. Council of the Galaxy, listen carefully. You have ruled with arrogance, exploited countless civilizations, and underestimated humanity for centuries. That ends today. The fleets you once controlled are crippled, and your arrogance has been shown for what it truly is, fragile, fleeting, and foolish. Humanity does not wish to destroy without purpose, but we will protect our own, and we will act decisively against any threat. Let this be a warning to all. Underestimate Earth at your peril. The age of humans has begun. The message echoed across communication rays, reaching every corner of the galaxy. Planets, fleets, and species that had once feared the Council now looked to Earth with awe and trepidation. A new order was dawning. In the Grand Chamber, Vork roared in fury. This is insolence. We will not bow. We will fight. But even his voice, commanding as it was, could not erase the silence of the fleet outside. Broken ships floated, unresponsive, proof of the humans' dominance. For the first time, the Council realized that the humans were no longer merely another species. They were a force beyond prediction, beyond control. On Earth, Kira watched as her fleet prepared for redeployment. Let them recover if they can, she said quietly. But know this, the next time they think to challenge us, they will remember today. Ryan glanced at her. Will they ever challenge us again? Kira's eyes glinted with quiet determination. Perhaps. But if they do, they will pay a higher price. In the void, scattered council ships began to limp home, their pride shattered. The galaxy had witnessed the brutal efficiency of humans, and word was spread quickly. Tales of Earth's revenge would echo in every corner, changing perceptions forever. Meanwhile, hidden human fleets continued to patrol silently, ready for any threat, but not eager to strike without cause. The lesson had been delivered. Power did not come from arrogance or fear alone. It came from intelligence, patience, and precision. Humanity had proven it held all three in abundance. On Azure Prime, whispers of change spread through the delegates. Some spoke of diplomacy, some of surrender, others of rebellion within the council itself. The arrogance that had ruled for centuries was broken, and the galaxy felt it. Vork, standing at the podium, finally sank into a rare silence. For the first time in centuries, he was not commanding, not ruling, not plotting. He was simply a witness to a force that could not be ignored. And across the stars, humanity watched, waiting, patient, and unyielding. The council had fallen silent. The human fleet remained unseen, but their presence was undeniable. The age of humans had begun, and every corner of the galaxy understood one simple truth. Never, ever underestimate Earth. In the quiet aftermath, the galaxy held its breath. Peace had been restored, but on new terms. Humanity's message was clear. Power, intelligence, and patience would always outmatch arrogance. The Council's reign had ended, not through annihilation, but through brilliance, strategy, and a calculated, patient strike of a species determined to protect its own. Admiral Kira Sellen watched the stars through command center window. This is only the beginning, she said softly. The galaxy will learn one way or another. And somewhere in the distance, broken council ships drifted. Silence reigned. Fear lingered. Respect, cautious and grudging, had begun to replace arrogance. Humanity had taken its place among the stars, not just as survivors, but as masters of the battlefield, architects of strategy, and guardians of their world. The brutal strike was over. the revenge realized. And the galaxy would never forget the day Earth showed the Council its true power.